Welcome to the BL Physio podcast, and we've got a very special guest today. We've got Shale, who's not a very special guest, but
I'm a little bit of a special guest.
regular. But we've got Kieran in, who's, as most of you know, Kieran was a physio with us for many years and has spent the last 2 years as a professional triathlete. So we're going to get some insights and chat through. Thanks for coming, Kieran.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
That's good. We're really interested to hear your story, mate. 2 years. What's your highlight?
Last 2 years full-time triathlon, but I guess I did my first triathlon when I was 15 and probably just been doing the sport pretty much on and off, mostly on since then. But yeah, being able to do it full-time just means more time to train, rest, race.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. You were doing it at a very high level for a long time, weren't you? So there's no real sort of finished one and started the other. But what was was there a difference to you? Like say, like being, I guess, identifying yourself as a physio. Not that you're not a physio now, but what was the biggest change? Do you know what I mean? Like, was there a change in feeling? Was it change in perception? Like, what was it like for you?
I guess it wasn't a sudden change, as I said, because I've been doing it for so long. Tricky. I guess having more time. Initially, that was a bit, I've just got heaps more time in the day, but gradually, I guess you feel that with training. I guess I had a lot more hours to train, but you can't just ramp up your training load that quickly. So initially maybe I had more free time, and that was just weird having just extra time in my week. But gradually over the last 2 years, the training volume's just been creeping up. So now, nearly the whole day is just filled with training or getting ready for training or recovering after training. There's actually not that much free time.
Yeah, because you're very efficient with your time. We know that, don't we?
Very efficient.
I try to be.
Yeah, good on you. And then so if someone asked you now, like, what do you do? What would you tell them?
I'm not sure. Coming back from overseas recently, they go, "What's your main occupation?" And I was like, I still wrote physio because I just didn't want to
a longer story.
Yeah, it's just a longer story having to say pro triathlete or something. But I don't know when I'll change on that. But we'll see. Maybe if I keep it going for another year or more, then maybe it's easier to call myself a pro triathlete.
Well, you've been both for a long time, I know you, because you went pro probably 12 months, 2 years before.
Just around the COVID time, but then there wasn't that many opportunities to race. I think I had some results I'm proud of, but probably results nobody else really cares about, in the sense that, with sport especially, like the winner takes all. So if you're doing really well and you maybe get a top 10 or a top 5, I think that was probably my best result. I maybe got a top 5 and a pro 70.3 or something. But
which one was that?
Once at 70.3 Melbourne and a 5th at Sunshine Coast 1 year. But they're just not results to make a career out of it. So
no, that was before you went pro?
Yes. Yeah. I was still working then. So, for me, I sort of had this itch. I'm like, it's now or never. Give it a full go and see how good I get. So there's really no downside. I either try and that's my potential, or I keep it going and I get really good. But there's no downside.
Really good.
Well, I'm improving slowly, but we'll see.
Chat us through your results this year. What's been the highlight?
Highlights. I think really good to win out at the Hell of the West at the start of the year, because I've done that race so many times. I think I raced it first in 2014, and I've been on the podium a number of times. So it felt really good to
finally win it.
Yeah, finally win it. Yeah.
And then you've had a few first places. You don't have to be humble about it.
I was going to say, Kieran's traditionally very humble. We drag it out of you, don't we? He'll never offer it up.
It's been a really great year. So I've raced 8 times and I've won 4 times. So that's not what I expected coming into this year. Yeah. And I think they often ask you when you finish a race, like, did you expect to win? No, I never expect to win. And I think I've learnt this year as well that if you're just really focused on the outcome and overly fixated on the outcome, i.e. like wanting to win or something, then it makes it less likely. So going into every race or during the race, just being focused 100% on the process and not thinking about the outcome, and then it makes the outcome you want, i.e. winning, more likely.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, chat me through. So obviously triathlon, there's three disciplines. What is typically your strongest, and what is typically your weakest or an area of improvement?
No surprises that my area for improvement is the swim.
Yep.
Usually in a half Ironman distance race, I'm usually 2 to 3 minutes down, more like 2 minutes if I'm had a really lucky swim, or more around the 3 minutes back. After that, I think my strength is being able to ride consistently hard, and then still running pretty well after just going as hard as I can on the bike.
Yeah. How have you found having that extra time, like, to help you swimming, I guess? Have you seen improvements in your times, or is it something that's going to take a little bit longer?
Yeah, I think it's still going to take a bit of time. When I first finished, I still swam a similar amount.
Yep.
Maybe tried to just swim a bit longer each time. But when I got back from Europe in the middle of the year, I was thinking, it's now or never. I've just got to up my swimming. So I'm trying to swim 6 times a week now, and more like 25 to 30K a week, which haven't done since I had an injury way back in like 2017 and I could only swim. So we'll see. Hopefully
That's 6 days a week.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll make the improvements I'm after. I understand swimming, you can't just do more, but that's also the area I haven't explored since been doing it full time.
I'm curious about that because with running, a lot of the times volume does equal better performance. Obviously, there's lots of nuances to it, but typically the people who are doing higher mileages will be better runners. Is that similar with swimming, or where do you tend to get the gains from?
I think it is true in swimming as well, as long as the problem is you swim more. You've just got to maintain, and this is my main weakness in swimming, I believe, is you start to lose your range of motion.
Yeah.
The more you do, and that's just not more swimming; it's probably more cycling actually. But the more overall your training volume is, the tighter your muscles are getting, the more you have to work on keeping your range of motion. And for me, that's the battle with swimming. So I have a couple tests now that I do before every swim, and I won't go swimming unless I have that range.
So combined elevation?
Yep, that's the main one. Combined elevation, also just a test of my ankles and hips. And if my range isn't there, I won't go to the pool. I'll keep working at it till I get there. So it means that when I go to the pool, I'm going to practice with the right technique or the right habits. Yeah.
And what is it for ankles and hips?
Ankles really simple. It's just plantar flexion. So pointing your toes and.
So do you struggle with that at times? Like you have.
Yeah, they're stiff.
No ballet dancing, man.
No. But then you got to look at it. So that's my disadvantage, but that's a strength in running, having those stiff ankles. I get a lot of like elastic rebound for. Out of my ankles, yeah. So I think with swimming, if you did more and more and more, but your range is going down the whole time, then you're just practicing poor habits. So I think that's the main thing, was the main caveat to just swimming more.
And hips wise, what do you check
I do. I can normally just tell by doing like a reverse Nordic, like how tight the front of my quads and front of my hips are, or a a Bulgarian split squat. So it's more like a functional exercise I do, but I can just tell if it's short or not.
Okay. And so if that's not up to scratch, like your ankles, would you do you do a mob, like?
I get a really firm elastic band and hook it in a door, and then almost just eccentrically, so very slowly let the ankle go into plantar flexion. Okay. It needs to be a really heavy band though. Yep. Or you can just sit on your ankles for a little bit. Yep. But that's quite a that's good just pre-swim. But that's a short-term fix.
Yeah. Okay. And then just for everyone out there, like releasing for your hips, like is that just like a trigger? So you're getting sort of into obliques and things like that, or do you?
If I'm finding like a real imbalance side to side, or they're especially locked up, I might go for that first. But usually I just go into the functional exercise, which is the reverse Nordic or the Bulgarian split squat. Okay. And that normally gets it, most of the time. Yeah, cool.
Awesome. That's cool. The and then what's your? As I know, talking to you like a little while ago, you were always talking about the bike positions and the biomechanics of that, and that oftentimes they'll set people up too far forward to get more aero, and it'll kind of turn off glutes. In your 2 years of your professional triathlete stuff, have you come across any other kind of biomechanical things that you go, oh gee, that's an issue?
Well, probably still just on that one. That's the main thing I notice and makes sense for me. The bike fitting can get really controversial. Everyone has an opinion, including myself. But that still makes biomechanical sense for me. So that's why I set up that way. And, if nobody else is doing it, then nowadays I don't even really mind, because I just see it as I see that as an advantage. So I'm happy to use it.
Yeah. So you still feel like you're set up a little bit further back than a lot of riders?
Quite a lot further back than most riders. Even that's the hardest thing with getting a new bike. I got a new frame this year, and I had to push the seat. There were only a couple different saddles that would work to get the seat back far enough, and just pushing the clamp all the way back on the seat post to get the position I was after. So, no one's doing it. I remember in my last race in China, I rode with another cyclist for nearly the whole 90 kilometers, and it turns out he's like the world record holder for like 6 hours on the track velodrome. So he's a really strong cyclist. But he was just saying, we both got off the bike at the same time, and he was saying, when I got off the bike though, my quads were just cooked. He's like, I couldn't run. I didn't have any spring. And so
he's quad dominant. He's stomping.
He was too far forward.
Yeah. That's interesting. Such an elite cyclist would be in that position.
Yeah, it's just the way the whole industry's gone, and like you can have too much of a good thing the other way too. And I do agree that there are different ways to go about it. There's definitely elite cyclists with a really far forward position, but training that it just doesn't make sense for me.
And do you mind just quickly running through that, because basically what you're doing is you're checking your basically knee position in regards to your pedal spindle, aren't you?
Yeah, yes, that's correct. So it's just essentially
that through.
It's I've got to sort of think about visualize it in my head as well, because it can get maybe a little bit confusing. But it's more just how far your body is in forward or back in relation to the bottom bracket, i.e. the pedals or the center of the bike. And it makes sense that the further forward you are, the more pressure you're putting, well, yes, on your arms, but also you're starting to load the front of the lower limbs more. So you're starting to put a bias towards the quads and the other sort of muscles at the front of the hip. Whereas if you move your center of mass further back, so away from the bottom bracket, then you start to bias things at the back. So the posterior chain, you're thinking like glute max, hamstrings, these sort of things. But it's finding the balance, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's good. I think it's just a good thing. It's really interesting. I know you introduced me to that, and it's a really interesting concept for people to be aware of, is that a lot of bike fits do set people up quite far forward, so it makes them more quad dominant, I guess.
Yeah, quite dominant. And then there's also what's really accepted in bike fitting now is, yes, feeling comfortable when you're on the, maybe it's you're only on the trainer for a few minutes, but yeah, comfort. People are really into aerodynamics, but then I don't think people are thinking about any small mechanical gains you can make, like mechanical efficiency with pedaling and things. And just quickly, if you're really far forward, then there's only one direction to pedal, and that's just stomping straight down. And that's less effective than trying to pedal in, scraping. So it's like a semicircle. Trying to pedal a full circle is too hard for the body, but pedaling like a semicircle is the perfect balance between just stomping and trying to do a full circle.
Yeah. So utilizing more glute max.
Yeah, you're trying to just, quads tend to just work without trying. Glute max is the other, like, prime mover or the other muscle you really want to be using in cycling.
So in terms of your position, I know like you've had some hamstring issues in the past. Having the seat back a little bit, does that irritate that hamstring at all, or do you do anything to try and manage that?
Yeah, well, based off what I'm just saying, you think, okay, it'll use the hamstring more, it's going to irritate it more. However, you're getting more activation of glute max.
Yeah.
So that should be the predominant extender of the hip, and rather than overusing the hamstring.
Yeah.
It does require a bit more length in your hamstrings to get a further back position, but that's where finding the balance is important. So not going back ridiculously far, but then also doing stuff off the bike so your hamstrings are robust and long enough.
It's a lot of Romanian deadlifts, RDL stuff.
Yeah, they're a favorite, and even just like as basic as slow, heavy hamstring curls. They're probably the main thing I do.
Yep. So you're in the gym now.
My whole routine I can do in a tiny little hotel room. So I've tried to adapt everything so no matter where I am in the world, I can do it. And so that just means heaps of heavy elastic bands.
Yeah.
I'd love weights, but when your luggage is already maxed out traveling, you've got to be able to adapt it for where you are.
Save money, mate.
That's really interesting because a lot of the, a lot of the athletes are big on, using the gym, heavy resistance, and like knowing you for a couple of years, I know that, that's probably less of a focus for you and you're finding other ways, not saying you're not loading it the same, but you've kind of found easier, simpler ways to do that without using the gym. So you're saying like heavy elastic bands are really handy. Is there anything else you take with you?
No, so a couple different heavy bands, swim cords, which are like heavy bands as well, which you can do a heap of upper body strength with. You can even do like shoulder press and stuff with, really heavy.
Yeah.
But also finding a pool's always not as easy as it is here. So you can still load your swim muscles a little bit. And bands and things are really light. And then other things, are some pretty just hard isometric exercises, which you can do with, you don't really need any equipment for. Maybe a couple hotel towels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you doing ISO stuff? Like what specifically do you target with isometric?
For me, more glutes. Especially riding the TT bike a lot, I can get irritation on the outside of my hip, especially my right hip. So I do
In a door frame type of scenario?
Yeah, single leg glute holds in like an upright running position and in like a squat, half squat cycling position. And, it's probably not heavy load in the traditional sense of moving a lot of weight, but it's hard.
How long do you typically hold it for?
Upright 2.5 minutes and in a squat 1.5 minutes.
That long? And just one?
I've come... it's also like how many hours are there in the day? There's not enough time. So I go through the routine twice, and I've come up with that amount of time because that's when I'm really starting to like fatigue and shake, and I can feel the muscles burning. So
basically 2 sets, but you'll do a routine and then routine again.
Yeah. I think it's still a way I can load those muscles like pretty well.
Yeah, that's cool. The and then with your running, are you playing around with your lean? What you're an excellent runner. You've just got it all sussed in. Is there anything different that you're doing with running these days?
These days, no. But I think you're always having to just constantly remind yourself or go through like a checklist of where you are running. It's also something that's good to focus on while you're out running or in a race. It just, as I said, it keeps you focused on the process again rather than worried about. I know in a couple of my races this year, it's been so close and I've had people behind me the whole time. And what can really keep you focused is not worrying about that and worrying about, trying to go as fast as you can. But that comes through holding your form at the end of a race.
So again, like going through the process, what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I just think of like length. So just trying to be tall through the back of my head. And then the next one for me, I just think trying to push my hips forward so I'm not sinking through the hips. So that really helps me. Length, hips, and then, I don't know, I say rhythm in my head, but it's more just like opposite arm, opposite thigh is what I think of, rather than I find if I think of my opposite leg or foot, then I'm likely to overextend and heel strike too much. So, that's what I think of.
I'm sure Charles got a running question for you.
I'm just noticing there's a similar Mustang out there. I thought someone stole my car.
Charles got to run. He's
yeah, it's very similar.
I think you'd have to go pretty quick, mate.
In terms of, do you muck around with cadence at all, or you're pretty comfortable with where that's at the moment?
I didn't even realize I did it for a while ago until I normally run by myself, and then I think I did a race a couple of years ago, and someone said, "What, you got a metronome going?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even realize." So I just have a metronome stuck on my watch at 180. Which I probably tune in and out to. I'm not always focused on it. But for me, trying to actually run with a faster or slower cadence no, for me it has to come from just, if I get the other things right, then the cadence is right for me. If I try and get more steps in or something, then I might muck something else up. Yeah.
Almost imagine it'd be just subconscious to you, just certain pace, a certain cadence. It just kind of feels natural.
Yeah, I think so. I do check it at the end of the run, and sometimes I go, "Whoa, that was a bit, lower than usual." So I might focus on it a little bit more next run, but definitely aware of keeping it in like a reasonable bandwidth. But trying to just get more steps in. I don't usually think of that.
Yeah, like you said, usually it's a byproduct of like all the other things that you're doing. So if it's a good number, then you're probably nailing those other things.
Yeah, and normally the other thing, and I'm not sure how, it seems to be reliable for me anyway, but there's another metric I get through my heart rate strop, and that's like left-right balance. And I'm not sure if this has been validated or anything, but it seems to match with my feeling.
So if you're more symmetrical, it feels better.
Yeah, my cadence is better because I tend to spend more time on the right leg if my cadence is down, so the left-right balance is out of balance, and that's also the hip. That if I have any hip issues,
I was curious to.
yeah, it's definitely it's the same hip. So it might go back to be, oh, I've been a bit slack on my isometrics or something. I've missed a day, and yeah, then I'm sinking more through that hip and everything.
Curious. I know some people get really hung up on stats and metrics. Are there any, I know you mentioned some of those for running. Are there any with your swimming and with your bike that you pay attention to, or is it all kind of more feel?
While I'm doing it, just a couple, and then maybe I'll look at some of the stats afterwards. But swimming, I use the like the goggles with the head-up display, and that's just because I'm not always swimming with squad. I'm often doing a lot of swims by myself, so I just have speed and stroke rate.
Can you use those in competition?
Yes, you can, but I don't know. I reckon they would come off easier or leak easier. Yeah. So I don't use them in competition, and also the distance when you're in open water isn't as accurate. So really good training tool for me.
Yeah.
Because you can notice, that if your pace drops off a couple of seconds that lap, you try and think, how do I fix that? And then try and remember how that feels. And then, yeah, it's good feedback.
Just before we move on, I just want to get back to running briefly. Do you set your stomach? Do you consciously set TA when you run?
I've gone through like every different cue. Sorry. At the moment, it's happens as a result of just trying to tuck my pelvis underneath me or those hips forward.
So
that's more my cue for
TA,
TA, and it comes on at that time as well.
That's cool. We talked about swimming. We talked about bike. Oh, with swimming, what are you now doing? Because you're always trying to increase your external rotation and your range in that shoulder. Yep. What are you doing? You're still doing the same. You're doing like belt glides.
Oh no, I've done over the years done like every different pre-swim routine known to man. But
because I know you used to do your extension stuff with weights. Above.
And then at the moment I'm going for just lying on a rolled towel. Yep. With my arms sort of hooked back behind the pillow, and depending on how much time I've got, but on average probably lie there for 20 or 30 minutes. Wow. Pre-swim, yeah. And so that's because I wasn't doing that for a while, but then you take it out of the routine and then you feel it suffers, and so I'll do that. Then I'll do eccentric shoulder flexion, like double arm, so grab onto something and lower myself down, and that's really quite intense. So when I do that, it gets range really quickly, but then you've just got no feeling for your arms in the water. So it's definitely not...
So it sort of changes you almost proprioceptive wise?
Yes. Yeah, your proprioception is really bad in the water, but it improves the more you do it. It's just the first, couple weeks of doing that exercise, you feel really dead. You've got the range, but you've just got no power.
So how are you? So you're holding a band, you're extending, and then you're slowly.
No, you're kneeling. Yeah. And you're holding onto, or you have your palms on a bench or a table, and you try and you're almost in a. Yeah, so you're kneeling, arms on the bench, and then you lower yourself down.
So both arms up?
Yeah, both arms at the same time. So you're almost in a streamlined position, but you're kneeling, and then you've got your legs really far back, so gravity will just lower you down, and then you pull back up, and then lower you down. And I'll do 3 sets of 6 to 8. Definitely not something I do much of. I might only do just 4 or 5 of them if it's before an event, though, because it really... it gets your range, but it really deadens your muscles.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It makes me go. It'd be interesting to see how to fill that gap before you got in the water. That's just me just thinking.
Like to improve the proprioception and things.
Yeah, there's a little Feldenkrais technique where you just run up your body and then sort of head up. Yeah, be interesting to.
Yeah, I think it's more like do a lot of it to get your range, and then hopefully you can just maintain with less of it.
Yeah.
And then before an event, only do a little bit, and then a good warm up and things helps.
Yeah, right.
But,
so basically, do your work before you're getting into race day. You don't do it massively on race day.
You don't do it as much. That just gives me the most range for the combined elevation. Nothing else is.
Do you work on rotation, like thoracic rotation at all?
I have in the past. I hope that comes through just getting the extension with the rolled tower stretch.
Yeah.
And I do pre-run, so that probably then flows over to the swim stuff.
Yeah.
I'll do thoracic rotation pre-run. More of a pre-run priority.
So you're doing like thread the needle type.
I'll use resistance bands to sort of in that. Is it called best stretch or something?
World's greatest stretch.
World's greatest stretch. It's a little bit like that, but with some heavy bands to pull you into more rotation.
Yeah.
And that sort of really helps that. And it helps balance me out side to side. That's another one again. If I haven't done that, my left side right balance in running's really off.
Are you concentrically or eccentrically rotating when you're doing it with the band? Like, are you?
Well, it depends which way you're going.
Like if you're rotating.
Oh, okay. No, eccentric.
Eccentric.
It's
so you've got the band there.
It's pulling me around.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's stretching out. You can do it probably the other way too.
Yeah.
But I'm really going for range more than strength. So, the slowly letting it out, or the slow eccentric stretch of your pecs, among other things, is what I'm after.
Cool.
With that.
Awesome. And then tell us what was the craziest thing that happened to you during a race? Was there anything funny? Was there anything where you went, oh man, if someone had a video of me, then like I'd either feel like a goose or I'd go viral.
Oh, I don't think I go viral generally.
You go viral.
I don't know what's funny. The very first pro race I did in 2019, I got directed off course like 10 Ks on the bike. A marshal, I think, just thought I was someone out for a ride. Probably because I was so far back, and I've got diverted. Way off course.
Which race was that? Was that?
It was Challenge Melbourne. They don't have Challenge Melbourne anymore, but
For a good reason.
Yeah, you meant to just follow the course. The bay the whole way, and at one of the intersections, a marshal was out in the middle of the road waving me off the course, and he must have just thought I'd.
You needed more sponsors.
Yeah, that's an ongoing problem.
I can help.
Funny. Craziest equipment malfunction.
Oh, touch wood, I haven't had too many bad equipment malfunctions. I still haven't had like a flat or anything. I've got a good system now, like I'm really meticulous about making sure my bike and everything's sorted before I go. I'm someone that likes lists and planning, so in the past, like when I first started doing tri, the day before a race would always be stressful with something missing or something not working that you got to get fixed, this and that. There still sometimes are those days.
I've seen you struggle only when someone else let you down.
Yeah.
A bike.
Yeah, it's sometimes tricky, like trying to get your bike fixed before you go away or this and that. But I'm getting better at just doing that a long time in advance, changing equipment over, so equipment malfunction.
Obviously, nothing to do embarrassing. Haven't lost the seat of your pants or anything like that. No. That's good. And then what was your toughest time in your 2-year period so far? Like time where you went, oh man, is this worth it? Is it when you have your low ebbs? And what helped you through it?
Yeah. Usually, like day to day, it's been pretty great just to have like almost a singular focus. As far as like, because triathlon was always my hobby, but to have it as like a hobby now and trying to make it like proper work, having a singular focus has always been good. But I think it's when you have a bad day and you can't do anything about it, like especially in like a race. I'm getting better at just going, oh, that was just a bad day, or you were sick, or you couldn't do anything about it. Trying to think. I think it was probably not in the last 2 years, but when after COVID, you could finally travel again. I went to Europe for 2-3 months, and I did 4 races and just had a shocker every time. And I didn't know why. Perhaps
Was that when you were sick?
Yeah, I in hindsight, like looking at bloods and things, it looked like I had a virus at some sort of at some time, but it was just, yeah, that wasn't a lot of fun from a racing point of view. And I go to a race and just be, I couldn't even hold like a slow run pace or something, and when you don't know why, and you're thinking this is your chance to perform, like, yeah, that wasn't
body's
fun.
failing.
Yeah.
It's no fault of your own.
Yeah, and you just can't control it. And even more recently, I was in October, I was lucky enough to get like a wild card for T100 Wollongong, and I've been wanting to get a T100 start forever. And I'm like, oh, great, this is my chance. Like, I'm ready, this and that. And yeah, just on race day, I just had nothing. I think I must have had a virus or something, because once again, during the race, I try not to overanalyze how I'm feeling. Actually, I try not to overanalyze how I'm feeling beforehand either. So don't think about sensations or this and that, because your brain can play tricks on you. So once again, I just try and focus on going as fast as I can in that moment. But in hindsight, I was like max heart rate doing easy ride pace. And so...
yeah, something was wrong.
Yeah, so easier to move on, like when you see it in hindsight, but it's still on the biggest stage I've been on. Yeah, it's not fun. Not fun to be coming last by like half an hour. It was getting dark. Like people are wanting to go home.
3 people like
But
clap,
yeah,
clap.
but you know, I always finish, and I'm happy that I.
So you didn't think about pulling out?
No, I just sort of have a motto that you're just always going to finish.
Finish hard.
Yeah. Yeah, even if there's nothing to really be gained from it or something, I just don't want to let that sort of start to creep in, because not to have a go at anyone else, but you just sort of see, like, when you don't finish once, then it can become a real habit, and it makes it easier to give up next time.
If you ever see the white light, just slow down.
Well, yeah, you obviously don't want to do long-term damage or anything to yourself, but it was just like, oh no, I'll be able to get to the finish, you know.
I didn't direct you off course at all this time.
No, that was a really, really amazing, well-run event, and I'd love to earn myself back on the start list again, to another one of these T100s, because there's just another level that, yeah, that level of broadcast and organisation and the way you're looked after and things for the event, there's unparalleled in triathlon. Like, I've never been picked up from the airport with someone with a sign, so that was pretty great.
Highlights. That was your highlight from before.
Maybe that's the highlight.
Was it a nice car too?
Yeah, I think it was like a Mercedes van. It was pretty comfy.
Did they spell your name right?
Yes.
There you go.
That's the pinnacle.
Would you say right or wrong?
Right.
Oh, no, wrong.
They spelled it wrong. Did they really?
Yeah, that's okay. I could work it out.
You might have got someone else's car.
Maybe.
Peter?
That's his dad.
Is it actually?
And my middle name. So maybe that would be closer.
Yeah. Probably one other thing to touch on is like travel. So do you travel to wherever you're going to race like early? Like, is there a certain time that you want to get there, like number of days, number of weeks beforehand? Because obviously hopping off a plane, particularly the long haul stuff, you're going to be tight, you're going to be a bit stiff. Is there a preferred time?
Yeah, as much as early as possible, I'm learning. I've tried too many times, and this is what I tried when I guess I was working as a physio as well, as just getting into the race venue the day before or midweek after a trip to Europe and this and that. And maybe some people can do it, but I definitely can't. So that is a huge advantage now, being able to do it full time, is get in there really early. For a race in Europe, I'm like 3 weeks before the race.
In the town.
Not even in the town, but just on similar time zone. In Europe, maybe a bit closer, as early as possible. In the past, I think maybe some people think they're going to think about the race too much and psych themselves out, this and that. But if you just sort of enjoy it, see it as a bit of a training holiday or something, then I don't find that affects me. And the other thing I can do now is not have to leave the next day is unbelievable for your recovery. Like trying to pack up your bike or standing in a queue at the airport when you're sore and tired.
So a couple of days.
Yeah, a couple of days if
Even
possible.
turn it into a holiday.
Yeah, or go on a holiday after it. Usually, like, split the season into 2 halves and have like a little holiday after a race block. But that could be one of the biggest changes, I think, apart from just being able to train more and things, is being able to really get to a race venue early and, acclimatise, but even just get over the travel.
Moral of the story, it's time to leave your job and become a full-time athlete.
Yeah, for all of us.
Yeah.
If you've
not too
got
late for me.
savings that can last you like a couple of years, then potentially.
This is you be more. We all want to be like Kieran. Talking about that too. The sponsorship. You got a bit of sponsorship, didn't you? Have you got a sponsor?
Oh no, I don't have any sponsor. I'm working
If
hard on
anyone's
that
out
at the
there
moment.
that wants to sponsor Kieran, we'll put the link below so you can just contact us and send a message through.
Yeah, well, I think nowadays I have like a lot to offer different companies, so it can really be like it needs to be a win-win for obviously myself, but also any companies I work with. So working hard on that at the moment to try and get some things for next year. And I think when you have other people in your team, then it's becoming, rather than just having a pro license and you're actually saying like, oh no, this is what I do for a living, and probably more confident to write pro triathlete on my arrival card.
Yeah, definitely. No, because like you say, we saw you winning. You won the race in China, and what was interesting was that, the second place, third place have got their sponsorship on them, and you're busting it out and absolutely destroying these people. And so if anyone's out there, keep an eye out for Kieran.
Yeah, I don't know about destroying people, but I've always been just focused on, really prioritising where my energy goes. And in the past, that's always been work and trying to train and get as fast as I can. And, nowadays I've got training, but I've also, I have to put energy into, trying to work with other brands and things, because ultimately that's going to mean I can keep going for, the next year and hopefully longer, which I think I'm still improving, so it would be good to keep it going.
Social media.
Actually, in saying that, social media,
seeing a little bit.
It's
been an improvement.
There's a flicker of social media. I actually really I do enjoy this like long form sort of content, like podcasts. I just know me and myself, I listen to a lot of podcasts and I enjoy the long form sort of stuff. So there's social media, but there's lots of I think I've got a few ways I can help different companies now. So
that's awesome. Goals for the year coming up. What's your plan?
Yeah, well, I think it probably only penciled in. I would ideally I could get on another T100 start, and even that calendar's not confirmed. But they're coming to the Gold Coast. It's just not confirmed whether that's male or female. And then at this stage, I've still got to be lucky enough to get a wildcard spot on the ranking sort of roll down. So, doing another T100 race on the Gold Coast, or if it's Singapore or something like that, would be at a venue that suits my strengths, would be, really good. I'd like to go back and race where I won this year as well.
Suits your strengths, so the colder races?
I'm finding, and this is what I've sort of probably learned over the last couple of years as well, hot helps me. I don't love being in the heat or training in the heat, but I seem to go all right. And I think that's just because there's no escaping it here in summer.
Even though no wetsuit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just looking at this year. it's hard to find a hot race, but then a wetsuit swim. I know Cairns is one, but it's like a full distance, which is so hot more just for the run. People really fall apart on the run if it's hot. And 20-meter draft zone. I just don't have any. Unless it's just to go have a go or a training race or something. I just don't see myself entering any race that doesn't have a 20-meter draft zone anymore because
to make up that time.
Yeah, I just get smashed. Too many good swimmers. The group on the bike, and you just, even if you do catch up, by the time you've caught up, you're dead, and everyone else is doing it relatively easy.
Matches are burning out.
Exactly, and not even necessarily anyone's done anything wrong. That's just the rules of the format. And at the end of the day, I've just got to go, I can't be good at every format or every style of racing. I've just got to
chasing down a pack of professional triathletes who are working together. That's
you just got to choose what suits your strengths. And for me, 20-meter draft zone and hot as priorities, or like warmish, and then sometimes a wetsuit swim or something is a bonus. Yeah.
Any other questions?
I'm happy.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming in.
You guys.
You got a question for us?
I didn't think of it.
Thank you.
I'm in the wrong.
We've been thinking about you all
mode.
the time, Kieran, and you're not thinking about us. Just to let everyone know that Kieran's doing bike fits in the clinic here, and they're on Saturdays usually. You're still around for a little while, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely doing. It's actually a few coming up before the end of the year. I've got a few bike fits on and a couple spots left as well.
Talking about Laura, she wants her cleats checked.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Probably one of the things with bike fits is that all bike fits are not the same, and Kieran, I guess you're a testament to getting it just right, so that number one, you're a bit of a weapon by yourself, but number two, the biomechanics and the millimeter perfect type of stuff that goes into, say, Kieran's setup, so he can keep up with the best, can be available to you too. So if you're interested in a bike fit, again, just contact us. We'll put a little link in the comments below. You can just ask your questions or book a time if you want. Awesome. Thanks for coming in, Kieran.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. I said I really like listening to podcasts, so I don't know if I want to listen back to myself speaking.
It's hard to listen.
That's it from us today. I am Paul from BL Physio with Shale and Kieran.
Catch ya.
Thanks for having me on.
See you guys.